And you're tuned in to the People of God sermon. And I guess we were maybe a minute or two late getting on. We said 9 p.m. Eastern, but you know, I found myself self-censoring the title because we're not going to give the YouTube censors any possible excuse to do anything. So we're just going to talk about basics about what's going on in general terms because we've said the specifics so many times. I'm not certain we really need to go down for it anymore. What I've said, I mean, I've archived it as much as possible. Um, I cultivated that Facebook account that they just took down uh, for 13 years. I put up with that garbage intelligence operation because I thought it was strategic, and it turns out I believe it was strategic to utilize, but like any one of the enemy's transit transmissions sources, they can just remove it at any time. Hey, cheers. Um, yeah, we're we're all over the place. I made a video for Live Leak a couple nights ago when they had the alleged cop getting shot. Um, yeah, put that up on Live Leak. I'll put a lot of stuff up on Live Leak. It gets a lot of views. I don't know. There's so many folks out there watching this stuff. We get the information out to as many folks as we can. That's why we're back on YouTube. We weren't able to broadcast live due to YouTube sanctions for a long time. So, anyways, we're just wherever we can be. The people of God are telling folks exactly what's going on at any given time. Topics tonight: what to do about the crisis, and I was going to title it "What to Do About Agenda 21." What to do about the one world government tyranny, something like that. But I didn't want to be too overt. I mean, we all know what the crisis is. I presume there's nobody that's viewing this broadcast that is unaware of what the crisis is. Hey, great to hear from you, Blop Jones. Hey, many thanks. No, 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 no. I want to see that. Okay. Yeah, many thanks, Richard Murdoch, Jonathan Pup Naff Love, Angry White Goy. Hey, next time I'll shout out everybody next time the thing comes up. I'm real antsy. Like I'm a luddite. I'm not good with this technology, and I'm real nervous about like touching screens or doing anything because I just want to lay out basics about what we've been saying for years. Hey, Cajun Bayou Gaming, Andrea Mitchell. Yep. Um, so yeah, it's beyond just the specific problem of one ethnic group, although that's certainly a major part of it. So we're just going to talk about generalities about strategy, and how what everybody knows who knows anything about geopolitics knows is that all political will comes at the barrel of a gun. I mean, that's the one that sticks in my mind, even though it's probably less relevant now than ever, because conventional guns, while they still have their place in warfare, are becoming less relevant when it comes to um, strategic weapons of war. It's becoming less relevant. So let's modify this, and maybe folks um, watching at home, maybe you can help modify this, but it doesn't need to be put in any sort of memorable quote. If you control the ones that control the weapons of war are the ones that hold all the political sway. Now, combine that with financial authority to create money and set capitalization rates and set global interest rates and set up plans to reset the economy, and I'm talking about the functions of the Bank for International Settlements, and fund all sides of all military conflicts, and launder every kind of illicit money through the banks through something called the Financial Stability Board. Um, I mean, it's that's everything. Their political power at that point is meaningless when an institution can control every element of political power, as the Bank for International Settlements does, through having the final jurisdiction to sanction all kinds of activities that are forbidden for the average person or the average corporation to engage in. And I'm talking about drug running, gun running, human trafficking, organ trafficking, every sort of illicit blood diamonds, whatever it is. The member banks of the Financial Stability Board, which is the judicial arm of the Bank for International Settlements, among every other thing, basically that they have the final say on what's cool and what's not cool. You'd think that HSBC or Deutsche Bank laundering cartel money is not cool, but the Financial Stability Board of the Bank for International Settlements, they say it is cool. It is cool, and you can do that. So hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for commenting, everyone. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. We're just pointing out that none of the political, wrestling. Obviously, everyone who's tuned into this knows that partisan politics is a ploy, that they're going to forward a global lockdown, shutdown government, no matter what. It's not like one presidential candidate is saying, oh, we shouldn't have had the lockdown, that was the worst thing ever. They're saying, hey, more lockdowns. Hey, mandatory vaccines. So not one is saying one thing and the other saying another. We know these things are rigged. They're fine. I used to be a election watchdog activist. That's like one of my things back in the day. Like, I would get real serious about verifying and proving and, election fraud. I filed a court case back in 2012 with a woman named Shirley Harvey and another woman named Lee Shoemate. And we verified the 2012 election fraud inside the city of Richmond. And then after this court case was thrown out, there were freaking six precincts in the city of Richmond, 10 to 15,000 votes that disappeared. They just disappeared out of nowhere. And anyway, the same thing happened the next year. There's always something crazy going on with the voting everywhere. If one trusts the election process, then I don't know what to say. I mean, we're against democracy in every kind of way, regardless of the rigged elections, because the public is not smart enough to govern others. So all rights are individual rights. All God-given rights are individual rights. And the vast majority of the population, and this is due to warfare, information warfare, biological warfare, financial warfare, conventional warfare, just psychological warfare, because the government is waging war against the people, obviously. And we're not just talking about the people, though. We're just talking about the masses. And the government has never done anything to inform the masses. We as claiming authority over the government, we do our best to inform the public about what's going on. And I can tell you, it's mostly a freaking headache to do. There's no money in it. There's scrutiny and the enemy seeing exactly what you're saying and what you're doing all the time. But it doesn't matter, because this is all just about political speech and the analysis of history and the present day and projecting into the future based on plans written down. So I guess we're going from election to United Nations international mandates, talking about Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030 or whatever anyone is calling it. Everyone's been identifying the plot for years, and now the plot is coming into fruition right in front of our faces, and it's surprising to see, but it is absurd to think that they've got all these plans, that they can lock everyone down, reset the economy, shut down the economy, reset the economy, and China's enemies with the United States, allegedly, in some ways, Russia is allegedly kind of enemies with the United States, but controls the president, but is enemies, but yet their vaccine is pretty cool. Hey, every Friday they give vaccine news. So, hey, before we forget, Johnson & Johnson vaccine, not so great for old people. Not so great as far as the side effects for old people, and less bad for those under 65. So that's what they're saying. That's what they're hyping up today is the Johnson and Johnson vaccine. And yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, yeah, the vaccine stuff is that's getting crazy. So, but again, how long have we been saying this? You know, not just us. Lots of folks have been saying this for a long time. I mean, not lots of folks. When you talk about the entire population of the United States or the world, but yeah, lots of folks are. I mean, they telegraph this stuff. They telegraph the stuff about, and I'm commenting on a lot of folks in the comment section are talking about the vaccines, which is an important subject, because when you talk about the rigged election, but all the candidates are talking about vaccines. So it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, it's just talking about vaccines. Protest the vaccine. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it just comes to a point where, and this is what we're all about here at the People of God is saying, like, we don't have anything to do with this. They got this election coming up, and they're gonna like pretend like elements of armed militia are going to take the president's side. The Donald Trump pro wrestler Donald Trump against, you know, pro wrestling candidate or whatever you want to call that guy, Joe Biden. You know, these two creepy freaking guys, these two schmucks, and they go like, "Oh, you gotta pick one of the two." And you're like, "Nah, don't involve me in your treason. I got nothing to do with whatever Donald Trump or Joe Biden or their Chabad Lubavitch handlers. I got nothing to do with it. That's your thing. Our thing is legitimate. We are the legitimate authority here. We are the body of the people. Y'all, hey, do your thing, and we're not going to fight over sides here." So when you see folks out on the street and they say, "Hey, this is the militia," you know, like a couple nights ago or last night, they were saying that Black Lives Matter protesters were having a dispute with the militia members. That's not the militia. The militia is not dudes. It's not dudes standing with guns. The concept is the body of the people controlling the weapons of war. Because they want to make you do something stupid. Like they got, you know, miniaturized killbots and pandemic strains of the flu in every corner of the United States in a weaponized form to release against you, and I mean, don't worry about going out and patrolling a bunch of looters, a bunch of government protected looters. You're not going to protect anything. What are you going to protect? I mean, honestly, I saw here in the city of Richmond. I used to be a business owner in the city of Richmond, and I can tell you, you know, that if I wish to protect my property, I was going to protect my property because no one else was going to protect it for me. There were not armed vigilante groups walking around. Seriously, don't protect somebody else's property and say you're the militia. You're not. The militia is a political concept. It is not a group of individuals. It means the body of the people controlling the weapons of war. Because without that, there is what we presently are stuck with in the outside world, which is a oligarchy made up of my enemies that have enslaved the planet and are I guess I would say destroying every element of freedom and self-determination that we have, which is basically like the example of that would be the fact that all the governments of the world at once suspended freedom of assembly. So I really don't know what else to say except for I do want to take this time to say, hey, I am not gonna hesitate to block and ban folks on this. I am so tired of idiots distracting from who have done nothing and come to do nothing but cause problems. Somebody was like, "What's with the phallus symbol of Osiris or something like that around your neck?" It's like, man, it's a freaking tie. I don't know. I was, I probably, whatever. I was trying to I don't know, dress up a little bit. There's dogs on the tie. It's from Metropolitan Museum of Art, and it's from a thrift store. So anyway, yeah, that's what's up with it. So I'm not going to have folks distract. It doesn't matter if you don't like, my shirt or my tie or my face or my hair or my nose. It doesn't matter if you don't like my voice, whatever. I don't care. I'm just telling you what's going on, and that we're not having it with a bunch of nonsense talkers, because we don't talk about stuff unless it's the most necessary thing. So we're not going to get distracted much more than that. But hey, that's what's going on with my tie. Yep. Hold on a second. Hey, Max, come on. What are you doing, buddy? Come on. So, in any event, I guess Max is going to be on the show. He got back in his chair. He likes to do this during the broadcast. All right, so we got Max here. I usually don't sit in this chair except for the broadcast. So in any event, yeah, we're talking about Agenda 21, yeah, and warfare, and how they have militarized vehicles in my hometown of Hagerstown, Maryland, and they're going forward with their plan. They haven't stopped. They're accelerating it. And so what is the only possibility? So the only way to win a conflict, and we'll say some sort of armed conflict, is to, at this point, control the weapons of war. Oh yeah. So hey, great point. about that. Yeah, usury. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because we have a religion, and our religion is called the People of God Church, and it was founded. The original People of God Church was founded in the late 1740s in Baltimore, Maryland. They called them the General Baptists. So anyway, we modified the founding document, and so that's what we are. We're the people of God, and it's also a reference to our ancient ancestry, i.e., we are the people of God in the Bible. So if the Bible is one's religious document, we are the people of God, the posterity of those written about in the Bible. So again, here's the thing with everybody saying we and about the militia. The militia again is a concept. So until that there is an organized group of individuals who comes together and says, yes, we have the authority. Hey, who they say has the ultimate authority in the United States to launch war, et cetera, et cetera? They say it's the president. So he allegedly is the commander in chief of the military. Allegedly, we know that that's not really the case. But in any event, there are order givers and order followers. Yeah, people of God versus Zog. Exactly. POG versus Zog. Exactly. That's really the only choice at this point. What else is there? There is no organized group of individuals who have a political or military arm in the United States or anywhere else in the world that offers any sort of resistance. We're not advocating getting rid of the weapons of war. We're advocating gaining control of them and getting rid of those that serve absolutely no purpose. Yeah, it's time, I guess, we de-escalate the armament, but that's not what's happening. The weapons are increasing and they're getting more sophisticated by the day. So we have to gain control of the levers of power, which mean control of the weapons of war and the control of the issuance of currency. Now talk about things that control everyone's lives that we have absolutely no say in, and that everything that stems from these institutions or industries, I guess would be the better word, the banking industry and the military industry, it's all horrible for us. We only have the weapons used against us, and we can never leverage the weapons ourselves. And that goes against every kind of natural instinct that anyone would agree to in any sort of political agreement, unless they're insane or under extreme duress, which both definitely could be said of the American people and the people of the world, that they are insane and under duress. Okay, Max. Sorry, I thought he was getting up, but he just wanted to. Okay, there he goes. All right, that was Max's cameo for the week. and we may have we it was raining earlier tonight and we didn't get to take a walk, so um, that is not great for me. I like to get my walk in every day, and of course, it's, good for Max to get his walk in as well. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess there's definitely a black magic spell. Yeah, everyone's under the black magic mind control system. That's true. I mean, what's the plan? The plan is use strategically, one's assets. The plan is, I mean, the plan for me and the people of God is whatever we've been saying and what we're doing. I mean, we wrote a book about the plan. Maybe we'll get into that stuff. Let's uh let's first go and talk about the first part of the plan, the plan that no one can take away, the plan that the freedom that no one can remove from you, and that's the freedom for you to think freely and believe as you wish. That's the first freedom. So that's the number one thing to always do is, hey, think freely and do as you wish. They cannot take that away. Hey, much appreciated. I know that there's probably a lot of sarcasm in that, but hey, great. Thanks, man. You know, I'll look forward to the day. I'll look back on the insults about my natural growing hair when I don't have any more hair, when I go bald. I'll say like, hey, that was sweet. That was sweet. Remember those anonymous feds on the internet that were talking about your hair while we're talking about the most important thing, the things that there are to discuss in the world? Hey man, that was pretty cool when they noticed your hairstyle and that they took the time to type that into the computer. Um yeah. Yeah, these guys are funny. But again, yeah, we're gonna yeah. So in any event, um we're gonna talk about what to do, what the plan is, and I mean, who else would really be watching but a bunch of, you know, trolls? I don't know. But hey, we're gonna alert the public anyways about what to do. Yeah. Yeah. Funny how you never know who you're dealing with. Funny how you never know who you're dealing with. It's funny because these guys on the internet are are uh, uh, are never identifiable. The first part of like any kind of political movement, and I used to do all kinds of like political stuff. I was a public speaker and an advocate of cannabis legalization, which has happened in Virginia finally. But in any event, one thing with all of these, you know, ideas that have to be put out to the public and have the public move in a certain kind of way in order to make improvement. One thing that has to be done is that real people have to really use their real names and say how they really feel about something in real life. And and using handles and stuff like that, it's cool. Like, I don't care, but all I'm saying is it's pointless, because in real life, folks have to say for real. They have to stand behind their convictions, or else or else or else everything's meaningless. So that's basically it. Yeah, of course, I know. You think I didn't know that, Barry W? So actually, actually, uh, no one, no one out there, especially some anonymous Mossad agent accounts, and I see some folks out there promoting cannabis. Is I'm not promoting cannabis. Don't do don't do cannabis. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't, or do as you wish. I don't know, but what I do know is that the first page of Genesis talks about cannabis and vegetarianism. So there you go. Um, yeah, I mean, of course it is, and of course it is. Um, we're instructed in the Bible to utilize cannabis, and yeah, I mean, well, here I'll tell you another thing. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. So it's really ridiculous. We go through a lot of information about, like, the triune meaning of all Bible verses, and then we'll have folks go, "Oh, the Bible says this," and then they'll say, "Oh, the Bible is Freemasonic, and King James is a Satanist, and this." It, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegan. So, and like, yeah. All right. All right. So, all right, here we go. So, let's see who John Wolfe is. I'm going to put him in a timeout. I believe um I believe that guy is some kind of Fed. Hey, yeah. Let's see. Guard your privacy and blah 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 blah. All right. No, Hey, this guy Barry Allen White. I'll tell you one thing about him. That guy is a Fed. That guy is an FBI snitch, and I don't know what to do about him, but to block him. We've had a there's something strange going on with that guy, and I don't know about anybody else, but these guys are really kind of, um, dangerous characters, and so uh, we're just going to go on with with our operation, And if we have to block these guys, we certainly will. And if not, they'll stop their talking. And I'm telling you, these guys, why would they care what I'm saying? Why are these folks going on this obscure broadcast and talking a bunch of nonsense as if they know what it is to be a Christian, and as if they know what goes on in my daily life or anything like that? So, I mean, there you have it. This is just getting too ridiculous. And why? I mean, we just told you what to do about the criminal government. Here, you wish to know? We got it right here. I wrote a book. I wrote a book about it. It's for free. You can get it on the internet for free. It's unarguable. It's not about hairstyles. It's not about personalities. It's not about anything like that. It's about the continuity of government and the functioning of the Bank for International Settlements and the intricacies of false flag attacks. So there you go. That's what I'm interested in. So if you guys are interested in something else, cool. That's cool, man. I'm going to call you out, and then I'm going to ignore you the best I can. So that's it. So here we go. God creates man, and man creates government. Man can never be subject to that which man creates. God is not subject to man. Man is not subject to government. That's it. One does not need to know anything more about the law than that. If in fact one disagrees, then we're done. If you disagree with that, then there's no reason to watch this broadcast anymore. And if you agree, there's no reason to talk about anything else about the world than that. Everything is solved by this concept. If in fact we have the right individuals and institutions of government. If in fact one believes that and then follows through and respects God-given individual rights, which is not being respected at all today. It's not respected at all. There's not one element of government that respects the individual rights of any human being. Hey, greetings, Clifford. Yeah, the trolls are big time out tonight. Not one element of any government that respects the individual rights of human beings, or of any beings, because I am not a vegan, but I don't believe in carnivorous behavior. Man is on a lower plane than we were during the time of Genesis, when we were on a higher plane. So I will avoid carnivorous behavior because I believe that that's wrong. I don't wish to eat animals. That's my deal. And I don't think it's a good thing that others do that either. So That is a key, because what's good for one is good for all. All beings wish to live. So as long as another being doesn't cause me not to live, I'm not going to make any effort to be in part of a process that makes them not live. So that's that. We're very straightforward when it comes to this. No long comments necessary. It's just very simple and straightforward. All right. Here we go. Covenant of the people of God. Covenant of the people of God. Here we go. Martial and spiritual authority of the people of God over all governments is part of the birthright of all European royal houses. The original authority comes from the line of the Irish High King and spreads through the royal houses of Europe. Significantly, heraldry of the people of God connects back to the heraldry of the Israelites. We, the humble professors of the gospel of Christ, baptized upon a declaration of faith and repentance, believing in the doctrine of general redemption, or the free grace of God extended to all mankind, do hereby seriously, heartily, and solemnly, in the presence of the searcher of all hearts, and before the world, covenant, bind, and settle ourselves into a church to hold, abide by, and contend for the faith once delivered to the saints and owned by the best Reformed church. God created man, man created government. The Word of God and the Holy Law book of God's natural law, the King James Bible, which is the basis of all law in our nation, states thusly: so God created man in his image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. Whereas God created man and government is a creation of man, just as man is subject and property of God, government is the property of man and must always be subservient to the people. We declare we are not against using arms in the defense of our God and country, against its enemies, foreign and domestic, when lawfully called thereto. We do approve and shall abide by the laws of our nation, ordained by God, which is the natural law of the builder of all. Also, as common law, which requires the smiting, all corporate and government officers for their servitude to the adversary of God, under the law, under the perfect wisdom set forward by our omniscient and merciful God, man is given dominion over the earth and all living things. Thereby, all governing power is vested and derived from the people, especially the means of exchange and the control of arms. For the love of money is the root of all evil. The basis of all life under the current satanic system is usury. We do bind ourselves to abolishing the ungodly scourge of tyrannical world government. Hath given forth upon usury and hath taken increase. Shall he then live? He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. We do also bind ourselves hereby to defend and live up to the Christian religion and abhor our adversary, the synagogue of Satan. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. We oppose the whore of Rome, Pope, and Popery with all her anti-Christian ways. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. We do also engage with our lives and fortune to restore the crown to the legitimate bloodline monarch of the United Kingdom, whereas the current pretenders to the crown of the United Kingdom are usurpers and servants of the devil. It is the duty of the people of God to smite the usurping satanic bloodlines of Europe, America, and the rest of the world. We are God's stewards of the planet and submit only to God's will and word put forward in the King James Bible, which is a basis of the law of the land. And we do further bind ourselves to maintain order, government, discipline in our church, following God's natural law. Our foundation is God's natural law and the scripture received from our ancestors, the true Israelites. He raised up David to be their king, concerning whom he also testified and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my heart, who will do all my will. From the descendants of this man, according to promise, God has brought to Israel a Savior, Jesus. Therefore, we must restore the lawful ruling bloodline of the Bible exhibited in the legitimate royal bloodlines of Europe. We then, that are strong, ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves. Therefore, it is our duty to protect the defenseless from torture, including animals. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. As in the time of Genesis, we must partake in the bounty from God. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And God said, Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed in itself upon the earth. And it was so. All people, upon joining our society, shall yield consent to and subscribe to this, our solemn league and covenant, forever and ever, until the end of the world. This is the universal law book for the time of revelations. We are in the midst of it. It shall contain scripture from the King James Version of the Bible and other divinely inspired works of the utmost importance. The jurisprudence contained within supersedes in importance and standing all other legal systems and makes all so-called laws repugnant to the people of God's belief null and void. Therefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. All living men are made in the image of God, in the male and female form, have original authority over all non-members. Our mission is to protect life on planet Earth from the adversary of God. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right. So that after that point, nobody can take away one's right to reject every aspect of the current system, because as everyone knows, it is not to benefit anyone. Nobody is benefiting from this system except for those who are engaged in usury and in warfare against the people. So the only answer to that is to separate oneself from that. Don't participate. And beyond not participating, put forward your agenda. Hey, I guess it's a good time to talk about I don't know, being able to recognize a phenotypical individual who is associated with the Ashkenazi ethnic group. So I see that guy who takes shits on the middle of the street when they're too messed up to stand in front of a video camera. His name is John Manadio or John Manado or whatever kind of name that is. But this guy is totally the phenotype of a person who is of the Ashkenazi descent. And he is a low-level Fed. He is a snitch, a Fed and a snitch. And that's what this guy, John Manadio, is. That's what he does. That's what he is. And he will never face up to anyone. And he made a big mistake by even thinking about me. You made a big mistake, dude. You made a big mistake. You are a Fed. You're a snitch. And that's all there is to say about you. And if folks can't recognize that these guys are mocking you, that Ryan Dawson is the same thing as Brother Nathaniel, is the same thing as Pat Little, is the same thing as John Manadio, a.k.a. Handsome Truth, a.k.a. takes a shit in the middle of the street. Dude, I've not had enough beers to take. I haven't had any beers tonight, and I never have enough beers to take a shit in the middle of the street on a video camera. That's what you did, buddy. That's what you did. So in any event, if you don't know already, if you haven't been told by Ziggy, hey, Ziggy says hi, dude. Ziggy says hi. We know what you're into, dude, and like you're blocked. You're blocked. And I'm not 5 feet tall, but it wouldn't matter if I was 5 feet tall. What does that have to do with anything? You're a Fed. You're an Ashkenazi. Not like there's anything wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's what you are. And you are get annihilated or act totally stupid, put out the worst filthy nonsense on the internet, and you think it's cool. It's not cool. You're a fed and you're a snitch. That's what you are, man. Don't you messed up. You messed up, dude. You shouldn't have messed with me. You messed up, man. So do whatever you're going to do, man, but you messed up. Look, dude, you can say whatever you want to. I'm not drunk. I'm not a drunk. And what does that have to do with anything? You are shown, address your public shitting, dude. Address your public shitting. It's not lies. Dude, everybody's eyes work, man. They work, dude. You're not fooling anyone. You're not fooling anyone. There's a cottage industry of folks that expose you for being Jewish because they've got eyes. That's it. Not street beef. Man, hey, if you were anyone to be known, John Wolf, I would tell you, I got a beef with you, buddy. You're definitely a fed. You're definitely getting blocked, man. You're definitely getting blocked. Hey, Minadio. Did I say Freemasonry is awesome? Look, all I can say is we're removing folks left and right. So yeah, we're about done with these guys. Okay. Yep. Removing users left and right. And the numbers keep going up for view counts. The numbers keep going up for view counts as we're removing these viewers. Let's see. Yeah, hey, that's what I'm doing, Justin. I'm kind of doing that, but again, yeah, y'all, that's again for the comment section. Like, I shouldn't have to do this because when these jokers come on, I don't know what else to say. We're providing the solution for everyone, and if folks disagree, I'm just telling you, I'm just telling the public once and for all about handsome truth, in case they didn't hear it from everyone else who's saying the same thing. Hey man, you exposed yourself again. So anyone who listens to you, and actually, I'm glad I got the chance to let you know, buddy, you screwed up, dude, and you know you did. You know you screwed up, buddy. You know you screwed up. You screwed up worse than when you took a shit on the street, dude. Yeah, what's the word triggered mean? It means like you don't want to talk about that subject with me, dude. You're you are a low level fed snitch, dude. That's what you are. So in case you didn't know, Handsome Truth is a fed snitch. He's Jewish, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. He is not who he appears to be, except for he's obviously only what he appears to be. Okay, you moron. And he's so stupid too, because what do we say? say, hey, none of this matters except for the only political will comes from those who control the weapons of war. Right? So Hands of Truth, he doesn't know anything about anything except for being a snitch. So we're talking about military strategy. So there is no militia. The militia is only a concept. There's militias all over the place, and there's militia written into the law. What is the militia? The entire body of the people. It can't be separated except for people and non-people. So it's not about what I do or whatever any other individual does. It is about controlling the weapons of war and issuance of currency. Hey, man. So this guy, Handsome Truth, let's see if we can we bring people on this show. Can we bring them on? Does anybody know that in the comment section? So yeah, I mean, we don't talk about anything else. It's no problem. Yeah, obviously, general. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. So all the stuff we've already talked about. So I don't know, Google Barbara Lerner Specter, because it's funny that that you mentioned Google Barbara Lerner Specter, because she is kind of the prototype of a certain ethnic phenotype, and so is that guy, Handsome Truth. He is the prototype of that phenotype. Yeah, exactly. So great. Obviously, it coronavirus used to roll out vaccine infertility. I mean, infertility vaccine. Yeah. I haven't been doing this for 10 years. This is the first time I've done this, chump. I mean, I haven't been doing anything 10 years. I've been on YouTube since 2008. I've never done a live video chat on YouTube. Not where I had an audience. Maybe I did like 30 seconds by accident or something like that. But in any event, whatever, man. Can we bring you on? Will you show your face? Let's see. Can we do that? Does anybody know if we can bring that guy on? Because I'll show you, dude. Like you messed up. Like you can't get out of it. You can't get out of it, man. You're done. Bitch, shoot. Dude. Yeah. He's in timeout. All right. So anyway, we're just going to get back to talking about reality. Talking about what is, not saying we're going to do it, not saying we have the capability of doing it, just saying this is the only way things will get done. The only way that life will improve on planet Earth, instead of getting worse, turning into a democidal hellscape, is to gain control of the weapons of war, and gain control of the currency. I mean, it's one and the same. Hey, Clifford. Also, that guy John Wolfe. See if you can check out that guy. That guy's that guy's a real questionable character. See if you can check out that guy John Wolfe. Um, I I'd like to know what was going on with him. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, thanks for that Teutonic resistance. Yeah, I mean, I, whatever. You know, that guy has called me on the telephone before. That guy, Handsome Truth, and I was like, man, are you crazy? You must be crazy, dude. You must be crazy. Is And then he said how he loved to fight and he could bench press a certain amount of a weight and how tiny I am. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy to mess with me. But he did. He got very threatening and harassing. That's a crazy thing to do to me. So so in any event, yeah, hey, thanks, Clifford. I'm connected to your brain, Chris. My magic allows this to happen. Haha, funny. Um, so yeah. Let's see. You have to use another outlet to bring people on. Oh, right. Okay. Hey, thanks, everyone. Yeah. So, Cliff, I'm not. Are you kidding me? Handsome Truth. What a joke. What a freaking joke. Why on earth would anybody, you can't debate that guy. He's too stupid. He doesn't know anything. I mean, he really doesn't know anything. Hey, um let's see. I'm going to see if I can see what's going on here on my computer. Yeah, we can talk about the coronavirus now. Let's go ahead and talk about COVID-19. We did talk about the Johnson and Johnson vaccine that they're talking about rolling out. Johnson and Johnson. Let's see. Let's just do the vaccine. Vaccine. All right. Yeah, we are going to talk about that right now. Um, this again is a weapon of war. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is gaining control of the weapons of war and the issuance of currency. And hey, I just want to wish to say, like, I don't I don't wish any harm on another human being unless they are doing major damage to me or my property or my family or anything like that. And I didn't mean any offense at at uh, uh, at anyone for their appearance as far as like ethnic groups go, because for me, folks call me a ginger because I have pale skin or reddish pale skin and reddish. I guess, I mean, I don't really have red hair. I have red beard. But in any event, I was just pointing out that that guy John Manadio, Handsome Truth, he is phenotypically a a prototype Ashkenazi. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's just what he is, ethnically and genetically. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it does seem strange that he is somehow become a background player in some sort of like bad strategized anti-Jewish movement. So we can get into like some real abstractions here like we normally do. Cliff, are we about to get into this basic double bluff of all espionage? Is how many times are we going to have to see it? The Occupy movement here in America in 2011. I'm getting a restricted call. This is very strange. Okay, so I'm getting these restricted calls. So, well, the genetics is clear. So y'all, I guess y'all are hearing this. It's restricted is the number. So I'm just going to decline that and keep going because that is a good thing that we do is we talk about science, genetics. We talk about how that exhibits itself in appearance of certain individuals. So, I mean, this is really strange. We don't have that. I mean, we got about, what was it, like 49 folks watching right now, and yet it's just it's so much clutter out there, like harassing phone calls from restricted numbers. Really, it's a little much. Yeah, so in any event, um that all right. So yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, okay. We'll see if we can. Yeah, well, the screen disappears, so I just answered and the screen disappears. I can't do that. What's that? I think we're gonna get rid of you after a second. Hey, listen to me. Hey, you know what's going to happen if you and I ever come face to face. You know what's going to happen. It's not going to be good for you. You're a fed and a snitch, dude, and you're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're done. Okay. So that was the federal agent. Okay, hey, I'm glad Cliff's headed back to the U.S., headed back to Tennessee tomorrow. And yeah, that was John Manadio. That was John Manadio calling in, and again, I don't know what he thinks. Like, I didn't want to like stop the call because he was calling in from a restricted number because he knows that I would call him back and record him, if he didn't call from a restricted number. And obviously he has my phone number. I mean, my phone number is public. I think it's been taken off since then, but yeah, obviously. But hey, I did confront him in a recording, confront him for what he is, and a Hollywood actor, failed Hollywood actor. He is a someone who cannot go without using obscenities, and that's about it. Let's see. All right, well, there we go.
Hello, Moto.
So, anyhow, hey, yeah, I'm glad to hear Cliff's headed back to the U.S. So, in any event, I'm not going to say anything more about that guy. He basically was making. I'm not the best speaker. That is true. Um, However, I talk about important things, and the only thing important about Handsome Truth is he is a prototype of a controlled opposition agent, and nothing more than that. Hollywood actor, and I don't know. Alcohol slurs the speech. Am I slurring? I I don't think so. I This is the way I talk. I'm haven't had anything to drink today, and what time is it? 10:26. I don't know what you're talking about. I presume you are in with Handsome Truth. It's funny that he brings up drinking, considering the fact that he has been taped and pictured taking a defecating on the street, defecating on the street. Seemingly while maybe he was drunk, I presume drunk and on drugs. But in any event, it was a deep fake video. Yeah, good one. Yeah, so the John Wolf guy, he's definitely some kind of Mossad agent, federal agent, somebody who's intimidating, somebody who is making threats through commenting on this. And that's the guy, John Wolf. Anybody can look him up. Watch out for him. I'm sure he probably has hundreds of different accounts for whatever he's doing. And I don't think you do work with David Dotrieve. I don't think you do. I really doubt it.
Hello, Moto.
So, I mean, but who's not an agent? I mean, that's what I want to know. I mean, who's not an agent? Isn't that pretty obvious that once folks get to the level of we're talking about not partisan politics, we're getting to exposing the real issues and problems instead of following the distractions on the mainstream media, and we get harassing phone calls from washed up Ashkenazi actors who don't do anything except for get celebrities to promote their stuff, and gets covered in the mainstream media for using a fake name. Okay, so yeah, so one thing I'd like to say is I'd like to get into this white supremacism thing, because I'm only God is supreme. So that's number one. There's no such thing as the Supreme Court. I mean, that's just like, beef supreme is not the the supreme of beef, and Burger King is not the king of any sort of real location. These things are just, they're just names. They're just names about you know,
Hello,
that folks make up. So when we talk about things like Freemasonry, white nationalism, okay, yeah, white nationalism. Yeah, white nationalism is full of them. And it happens over and over again. So it never doesn't happen. So one would have to be an idiot not to know that you're dealing mostly with agents at this point. It's been years since before I was going on the internet and talking to people directly, and I was just some public figure that was covered in the media, however other folks wished to cover me. I knew that then. One has to be an idiot not to know that every chat board, every movement, it's not just that there are a few trolls and feds and snitches out there, that they all are. You have to be a dummy not to know that. So,
Hello, Moto.
so again, hey Cliff, can you get that guy John Wolf? Can you verify that you got that guy's information as much as you can get on him? Because again, these are threats that this guy John Wolf is making using a comment board, and he's obviously some sort of government, agent, and he's using this YouTube apparatus to make threats. Yeah, threats.
Hello, Moto.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto.
Yeah, it could be that guy Rosenberg. You never know.
Hello, Moto.
So yeah, Nasty Goy, add him to that list.
Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got it. It's right here. Yeah, the free PDF of the book. It's right here. Just go to twitter.com, Chris Dorsey on Twitter. And yeah, we'll get into that because that is true. We're just showing. I mean, all this stuff we've talked about so many times. The PDF can be downloaded. You can get it for free. You can buy your own copy, of course. But at this point, I'm really hoping the new book that I've got coming out is going to really fill in the gaps, fill in the spaces from the first book, which it covered everything. I don't like to. I don't really like to write that much, honestly, especially not in a book form. But certainly,
Hello, Moto.
we covered everything, including the enemy bases of operation and
Hello, Moto.
this guy is crazy. This guy is really, really really not. We just
Hello,
it's
Moto.
not a list. It's just I'm trying to find out who these folks are who are who are who are messing with us on there. So nobody's stealing my life force. And it's funny that this guy is stating that, and he thinks he's so powerful, but he's not really. Uh, 5 grams of magic mushrooms. That I don't. I mean, who would take that much? That's misuse of magic mushrooms, and I've not had those in quite a while, but I do know that those are the basis of the magic mushroom is the basis of all religion, or at least the basis of a lot of religious motif. Um, no, not anymore, dude. Not anymore. Oh, hold on. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Let's see. All right. Let's get into what's going on and what we can do about it. And this is just um, basic military strategy, and that's it. Hey, thanks, Cliff. Thanks, but yeah, this is getting ridiculous, isn't it?
Hello, Moto.
See, that's what happens when you got these guys that get paid for their lack of morals because they're just dirtbags. This is what
Hello.
happens when we're just trying to have a discussion about um about serious issues that folks are concerned about, and we can't even get anywhere. So basically, number one thing is to remember is everything that the government is doing is a violation of the law. They're committing treason. They're engaged in war against the people, and that's the biggest crime one can commit. War against the people. The people ordain the government. Who's engaging in war against them? The government. So, number one step, and this was the first one that I did, was do my best to enforce the law, whether it be for any number of things that I was opposed to. Were were these actions by the government, were they lawful? Were they constitutional? And the answer every single time was no. So then I started thinking maybe it is not a good idea to oppose them on each action that they take that is repugnant to the Constitution. Maybe because every act they take is repugnant to the Constitution, it is a good idea to oppose everything that they do. And that way, nothing will fly in under the radar screen. All right. All right. So we the people of the United States ordain the government. This is from archive.org, the Militia Intelligence Handbook. All power is vested and derived, and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates are their servants and trustees, and must at all times be amenable to them. So there you go. It seems pretty straightforward. You know, you don't have to agree with someone. You don't have to disagree with someone. All power is vested and derived from the people. And that's not just for nothing. That's because they wish to avoid a tyrannical government. So that's why they said it. So today, that's not the case. You know, and also it's written into Virginia Constitution that we can abolish the government, that the people can abolish the government. Let's see. That's a Virginia Declaration of Rights. Sorry, it's in the book. Let's see. I don't need to do another search. Did go back one too many pages. That government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of the people, nation, or community, of all various modes and forms of government that is, best, which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety, and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration, and when any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, a majority of the community hath an indubitable, inalienable, and indefeasible right to reform, alter, or to abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public weal. So, in any event, I mean, when you start talking about Freemasonry, just look and see what Freemasonry actually is on this channel, and you won't be so dumb as to say, like, you're a Freemason, or Freemasonry is this, or Freemasonry is that. I'm not a Freemason, you know, because that's beneath me. And I'm the Grand Master of all Freemasons. I have authority over Freemasons if they're aware of what Freemasonry really is and who I am. But the idea that that's a tool organization, that's an instrument organization. So that's not the end all and be all. That is an element of that. And it's Freemasonry today, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, York Rite Freemasonry. It is non-functional, meaning, you know, calling Freemasonry Freemasonry is like calling a candy apple red painted car like a sugary snack. It's something completely different that's meant to represent Freemasonry. Freemasonry is just a service contract that the King of England had with skilled laborers and those he wished to periodically summon. Hey, okay, America was founded on freedom and the republic. Dorsey, uh, but who are you, fellow man? Like, who are you? What do you know about anything? Freedom and the republic? You think you know more about the freedom and republic than I do? That's it's literally it's in my veins. So that's all I have to say about that. I know what the what freedom, what the republic is, what it means to be one of the people, one of we the people, and I know who set this up and why they set it up. And of course, we're talking America was founded by the gypsies. Funny. Okay. But America was not founded by Columbus either. He founded what was the Bahamas and what Hispaniola. But again, my ancestors were in Nova Scotia well over a century before that. Henry Sinclair was here before Columbus and closer to America. So yeah, you bring up a great point. Yeah, the people. Yeah, I know what it was founded for. It was founded for my people because we've been here the whole time. And so when somebody says Scottish Rite Freemason, that's like, oh, that's Jacobite Freemasonry. Okay, Jacobite Freemasonry. Okay. Well, York Rite Freemasonry. Okay, well that's for William of Orange. That's William of Orange Freemasonry. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I have authority over both. And it's nothing. It's a secret society. There are more secrets in the Rosicrucians. The Masons were the Masons before they were called the Masons. It's just ancient mystery knowledge. What else is it? Ancient mystery knowledge, service contract with the king. If you don't abide by the king's rules, which are the king is always right, the king is the only one that can summon a legitimate meeting of Freemasonry, and if you don't abide by those rules, the king gets all your property. That's the rules of Freemasonry. That's basically the triune five, the 15 and 15 structure of the old York constitutions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you shouldn't be on this outlet, making a fool out of yourself for saying like, "Hey, Chris Dorsey has a mullet," or "I'm stealing your life force energy." Nobody's stealing my life force energy. Nobody's stealing my ka. Are you kidding? You don't know anything. Whoever's on this, like that's the bad thing about it. I've dealt with a lot of high-ranking government officials. I've outflanked them with while lawfully open carrying and videotaped it, and I've caused them. I've inflicted injury upon them in a political sense. A lot. Folks, you wouldn't even be able to identify in your hometown. FBI special agents in charge, DHS agents, chiefs of police, acting attorney generals of the United States, congressmen, senators, you name it. So, in any event, I'm telling you what's going on. Not trying to convince you of anything, because I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care. Because unless you're out here and you show me that you know more than I do, then you don't. That's the rules of Freemasonry, really. You don't know that? Hey, I got to tell y'all what's going on. It's the rules. I got to tell you. And I got to help you out and correct you in a amenable fashion. Okay, yeah, we will. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah, obviously. Who else talked about Kyle Rittenhouse? But my eyes work. So I'm not going to go like, hey, that picture, that's two women, right? That's two women. And Kyle looks like he was binding breast. Now, I could be wrong. There is uh they say 1.7% of the population is born hermaphroditic. So her, so it could be something like that, but I believe that it was transgender psyop. Yes, I will get that. Yeah, Clifford, you said it. Modern Freemasonry is a mockery of its original form, as now it is. Yeah, yeah. With the eternal enemies of the king. Exactly. It is a contract with the eternal enemies of the king. Right. It has been overtaken by those who should not be members of Freemasonry. So again, what do you want to do? Like, hey, we do abide by the old York constitutions of 926. That's part of our rules. That is equally, if not more important to us than Constitution for the United States of America or Constitution for Virginia, because it's all the same thing. When they say people, they mean those with the right to claim the English throne. So that's why they go, oh, well, hey, here in America, it's Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Okay. Okay. Well, that's right, because, like, that's Jacobite Freemasonry. They were supporters of Jacobite, the Stuarts. And the other stuff that formed that formed in 18th century. Well, I guess it was 18th century, 1717, when the York Rite was created. But here in America, we have Scottish Rite. York Rite is different, but hey, York is where it all started from, according to jurisprudence of Freemasonry. Mackey's jurisprudence of Freemasonry. So yeah, we have that. Like, it's stupid to get into like stupid arguments about, like, we covered this earlier and we got rid of some trolls that were like, oh, you're not a Christian because you did cannabis activism. No, that's part of my Christian belief. I put it in my covenant. Just like vegetarianism is part of my Christian belief, because it's biblical and there's precedence. There have been a number of Catholic saints who did not eat meat. There have been another number of Protestant religions based on vegetarianism and ending cruelty to animals. So folks can say what they wish, but again, when you don't comprehend certain things, or if you do comprehend what we're saying, what we're talking about with the Grail bloodline and the ancient Israelite people, I mean, you gotta comprehend that, and you gotta and if you don't comprehend that, you're not gonna like really get anything out of discussions here, except for like on levels like that we were covering 10 and 15 years ago. Because yeah, we will talk about election rigging. We've been talking about it for years, and now it's all over the press, and they're going to use it to jam us up. And that's what I know. Informing folks, it's not like people do the right thing with the information when they get it. When I was informing folks and verifying about election fraud in 2004, I can tell you, I was an active member of the Democratic Party, and I was like the last person to stop opposing the results of 2004 elections because it was stolen. Not that John Kerry is any better than George W. Bush. They're not. They're both crypto Ashkenazi, skull and bones members. So, and that secret society is nothing. They're chumps. They're chumps when it comes to the Ka order, the order of the Ka. And I can tell you 99% of the members of the order of the Ka, they're not really members because they're not initiated. You have to be aware of your initiation before you're initiated. But the initiation comes from the blood flowing through your veins, meaning being alive is your initiation. That's the only initiation that there is that really matters. That's the only ritual that matters at all. Everything human beings do is a ritual. Everything. Everything is ritualistic. The precursor of the written law is the spoken law, the auricular law. Nothing's changed. We can get into some really interesting conversations, and it's funny how these guys, they like to no, they don't. That's not true. That's just not true about Freemasonry. That's not true about Freemasonry. It's not true to say Freemasonry accepts anything other than Christ. That is not true. Because the ruler of all Freemasonry has the bloodline of Jesus in him. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings to Freemasonry, to Freemasons. So 2008 was when I made my first video on YouTube. It was myself and a couple other individuals grilling Congressman Bobby Scott and his lawyer about, among other things, 9/11 and impeaching the president of the United States for war crimes and torture. That would have been Dick Cheney and George Bush. All right, so this guy Goy Shield is not listening to what we're saying. We're saying today's Freemasonry is different from yesterday's Freemasonry. So in order to be a part of the original Freemasonry, one would have to attend Royal Mother Church weekly. Doesn't say anything about any sort of alternative deity. Not at all. Unless you're saying that the medieval Christian church in Christendom wasn't Christian. So again, you don't know anything, and you're trying to have a debate. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what the way it is. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you the way things are. I'm not a Freemason. I'm not a Freemason. So again, that is a title beneath me, because all of this stuff. Okay. So let me tell you, everyone with the word goy next to their name is a government agent, knowingly or unknowingly. They are a Mossad agent, knowingly or unknowingly. So only an idiot would use the enemy's own worst racial slur against them on their behalf, as part of their handle, as part of their name. So again, using the enemy's rhetoric is not a good way to beat the enemy, unless you are the enemy yourself, pretending not to be the enemy, which is the only way all of this works. All of this works exactly like that. Double agents, controlled opposition. The best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. Okay? So if you don't know these kind of concepts, whatever. Let's see. Sadly, the Levites are mixed with the Canaanites, and others say that. I mean, no. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. You guys are really okay. So this guy, Fellow Man 3, who won't identify himself. Nobody really knows who he is. Whatever he's doing, I don't know. But Handsome Twoof and ADL and his ADL and Dorsey's. I'm just telling you what Masonry is. Wow, both are deceiving us for books, and I'm giving my book away for free, dude. What are you even talking about? The book, I didn't create it for free. When I did research on the internet, I did have to pay for the internet. When I was eating, sustaining life while I was creating the book, it wasn't free. But yet I'm giving this book to the public for free. And most folks, they can say, well, we really don't care. I think it's good information. But that's fine. It's there if you like, and it's there if you don't like. Lots more folks watch my videos than get my book. But a lot of folks have read the book. They think it's good. That's the feedback I've gotten. So again, money. What money, dude? I don't even have a PayPal anymore. You're crazy, man. You just are putting disinformation out there. Yeah, I will. I'm going to put my next book for sale, and I don't really wish to have it given away for free. But again, as soon as the first person bought the e-copy, they can put it on the internet for free. So that's beyond my control. But in any event, never been on Al Jazeera, and in 2012 and 2013, I was paid, I would say, maybe several $1,000s, not nearly enough, by Press TV. And in all my appearances after 2014, I was not paid. And the grand total of all of my 100 appearances, which I believe I should be paid for, even though I was not, was $3,000 to $4,000, maybe more, maybe less, but not more than $5,000. And I never received any money after the end of 2013. And I will tell you, I do believe that because everyone else involved with my interviews and my TV appearances on Press TV and Al Alam TV and a couple other lesser known networks, I do believe I should have been paid, but I was not. So, yeah, everybody else gets paid for their work, but I do not. But that's not fine. That's fine. I'm not complaining about it. I just think it's ridiculous when I believe that I do good work and that I should be getting paid for my work, and that I am open and honest whenever I do get paid from my work, i.e., letting folks know unless they want to remain anonymous, and then just say anonymous donor, and exactly how much money I'm getting in donations and contribution, which at this point is zero. So again, wrong information. Wrong information. So anyway, I mean, I talked about my brother last week. I have not talked to my brother in 7 years, not spoken to him in 7 years. And as far as I know, he does work for the Pentagon. Not talked to him in 7 years. What he does is treasonous, but I can tell you, man, if somebody, I'll take my brother over any other freaking chump out there, as far as having his back when the when the shit goes down, and if he ever has his number called to pay for what he's done. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't talk to my brother, and he doesn't talk to me, is more like it. He does not talk to me. And I don't know exactly what he does. So again, we're talking about important subjects. We're talking about important matters, and folks, they act all stupid, and they're ill-informed about things, and they say things as a matter of fact. You see, this is another problem with this simulation. And we've told you about the 5 code and the 555 code. So 5 is the code for the internet, because the binary for the number 5 is 0, 1. That's the basis of all the binary code. And it's the basis formula of all life on the planet. Look at your computer screen. You'll see the binary of 5. The circle and the 1, or the I. The phallus and the chalice. The male and female. The one, law of the universe, sex, sexual reproduction. And then all of the esoteric and allegorical elements that come out of that. That's in the 5 and the 555 code. So with all this simulation, this is why I was going to get. What we have is a problem of thinking anymore, where everybody just puts down something as if it is some sort of fact. As if they're making an assertive they're making an assertive um, fact. They're stating an assertion of fact. So it's good to point out, like, when somebody's acting as if I'm doing this for money. I made a deal with myself and with God that I was not going to chase money. I knew what the issue was, and I was going to do everything in my power to fight this criminal and corrupt to the core system with everything that I had, and make every person that is engaged in this usury fraud my enemy. And so that's what I did. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for popularity. This is not really that much fun. This is what I'm driven to do. It's what I must do, because I'm going to keep fighting until I can't fight anymore, because God made man warlike. And we have a warlike society, and the history of man is warlike. So yeah, a fraud of what? So again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This Francisco Zubiliga says Chris Dorsey equals fraud. A fraud of what? I'm telling you what I believe. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've witnessed. So, well, of course, where else are the government shills going to go? They already control everybody else on YouTube. Anybody that gets, any kind of traffic or anything. Fed fraud. Fed. Not a Fed. Have nothing to do with the federal government. I reject them in every sort of way. I made a religion out of rejecting the fucking government. You chump. You guys, it's like it's like, well, Barbara Lerner Specter says, I have never heard Chris Dorsey say anything untrue. I mean, if I've misspoken, I like to correct myself, but hey, I mean, my book, it's full of citations. I'm not making stuff up about the number 5. I didn't make up the fact that 5 is the binary code. I didn't make up the fact that males putting their penis in females' vagina is what produces offspring. I did not make up the reproductive nature of all living things on Earth. I'm just telling you that the further we get away from that with this simulation, it's we got these obvious, like, feds out there. It's like, why do you want, you want me to talk about, other folks? Francisco, we're getting rid of you. Like, we're removing high user from channel. So, like, and I've done that a bunch. So, okay. So we got, no, definitely not. Definitely not. The adversary of God we do not serve. We repudiate and rebuke the adversary of God. Well, in any event, yeah, we're just telling you how things are. We're just telling you information. we're decoding things for you. We're decoding the internet, and how a simulation of real life is like it's not worth living. It's and we're becoming more and more a simulated society. I mean, we said years ago that, hey, soon you're not going to have to go to the polling place to vote. You're going to be able to do it virtually, and we're seeing it here now with these next rigged elections. Um, so yeah, I mean they are lame, but sometimes they have to be addressed, because why is that? Why is that this doesn't happen to other folks? What are we saying? I mean, we're saying like some pretty simple but important information. Your life is being simulated for you, and it's not real. It's a fake simulation, and they have done this through use of a code. I mean, I know that it's electronic pulses through tubes at the with the code 010101 as the beginning, or at least 01 as the beginning of the code, and that's the beginning of all earthly codes, and the binary for that is 5, and there is a 555 code that let's see, it's that the monarch mind controlled popular bands of the day are recording songs, like, for example, Frank Zappa had a song called 555. Fish had a song called 555, and we know that Frank Zappa was raised at Fort Detrick, Maryland, and that was the home of the Biological Warfare Department for the United States military, and also that's where they created the MK Ultra project with Sidney Gottlieb. And then, of course, I mean, don't get me started on Trey Anastasio, Mike Gordon, and their crazy, weird mind control stuff, where Mike Gordon was arrested for taking lewd pictures of a 13-year-old at a concert. Actually, I think she was like 12. And Trey Anastasio losing his mind every other freaking week back in the day, putting himself into dangerous situations. But anyway, they come back with the 555 song. Um, uh, in many books, 555 is said to be the number of the angel. 555 in Hebrew gematria is the value of I am that I am, an Old Testament name of God. I am that I am. That's also a saying that is associated with not just Popeye the Sailor Man. Um, what was it? I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am. Am what am. I am what I am. I believe that's it. If I'm not mistaken, I am what I am. It's evidently a song by Shirley Bassey, but I believe Popeye says that. If I'm not wrong, I am what I am, and that's all that I am, or something like that. The P button's not working on my computer, so I can't look it up. But in any event, uh, I believe that's correct. And even if it's not, it's certainly a saying that's similar to a saying that's popular in Freemasonic circles. Let's see what is going on with this computer. Anyway, we're not going to mess around with that anymore. That's the reason why the number 5 and the number 555 is so important. And also 5 represents a number of things. The 5 wounds of Christ, the 5 fingers of the hand given to us by God to do good deeds, and the 5 altruistic traits of the knight. And that's the 555 code, or one of the 555 codes in Gawain, the Green Knight. So we get into some connections between Gawain, the Arthurian legend with the 5 code and the 555 code, the I am that I am, and of course the keeper of the Grail in the Arthurian legend is Joseph of Arimathea, who is Jesus's uncle. So, folks like Ralph Ellis, they get into a lot of the connections between the story of Christ and the Grail legend and the Arthurian mythos. How the Arthurian mythos is similar to the motif of the King of Kings, Jesus Christ. And so we've isolated certain things that are identifying. And Joseph of Arimathea and his bloodline, which would be the bloodline of Jesus Christ, because Joseph of Arimathea was the uncle of Jesus Christ. And so, 5 eyes. And so that is the bloodline of Jesus. So we're not telling anybody anything new about the Glastonbury theories about Jesus Christ and Joseph of Arimathea, and that Joseph of Arimathea, he's called the seed of all kings. So we have that, and we've identified the bloodline, and you can guess what it is. It's the R-M222 bloodline. And so a lot of folks associate that with Ireland, and it is the bloodline of the High Kings of Ireland. But where its original point is Devon, England. So Devon, England is where Glastonbury is, and and it appeared between 0 and 100 AD. And this is not according to the myth of the Grail. This is according to peer-reviewed scholastic studies on the R-M222 Y DNA haplogroup. And so that originated from nowhere. It was the original point of the R-M222 Y DNA haplogroup. That's of the R1b Y DNA haplogroup, and R-M222 is a subclade, and is a R1b, and then underneath that there's a number of different things. R-M269, downstream from that is R-L21, and downstream from that is R-M222, which appeared in Devon, England. That's the original point. Around between the year of our Lord 0, the year 0, and 100 AD. And then the legend goes that Joseph of Arimathea went to Ireland. And so the evidence shows that this R-M222Y DNA haplogroup that originated in Devon, England, then almost immediately went to Ireland, just like the legend. And that's just like checking genealogy with genetic testing. And this is a uh, so yeah, Joseph. Who says Joseph of Arimathea is not Jesus' uncle? Who says that? Um, and I will say it's very implied because that and it's even more symbolic that you bring up Joseph of Arimathea in a biblical text. I mean context, I should say, because who has the right? Only one of the same clan has the right under Israelite law to retrieve the body. It was his responsibility as a family member of Jesus to retrieve the body. And it's also using the triune meaning. It's also he controls the body of Christ. He's the one that has possession. He's the holder of the grail. I'm just telling you, you idiots on the internet. You never cease to amaze me. You guys never cease to amaze me. I'm just telling you this, like, I've already thought of all this stuff. So legend from who? Legend from what? The 12th century? I believe it was some folks say, the legend came from Wales. Some folks say it came from Devon. There's evidence of Provence. The Holy Roman Empire. The Arthurian legend. The allegory about King Arthur, which is an allegory about the magic number 12, the 12 signs of the zodiac, and the sun. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, again, maybe hold your comments, or maybe they're legitimate comments and you just don't. You're a couple comments back. Oh, okay. So we have like the other feds joining in, the Black Hebrew Israelite feds joining in. Okay. Um. So yeah, the bloodline of the ancient Egyptians, the pharaonic line, were the Israelite kings. They were all they weren't just the kind of like tannish colored bronzed European Egyptians. They were the ones that were like me, ruddy with a red beard. So yeah, you guys, come on, take that nonsense elsewhere. I'm telling you, because we know who would control the body after the after the crucifixion. It would be a family member. And if you think that that's not the case, then you're incorrect. I'm telling you what's going on. What do you know about anything? You don't know anything. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Um, yeah, ruddy kings, of course. Adam. That's why when you look at the patrilineal line of the to the legitimate king of England, it goes from Adam, the first man, meaning the first man, the Israelite king, more like the Egyptian Israelite king, and then it goes through that line, well traced through the line of David, and through the line of all the biblical kings of Israel, and then to the high kings of Ireland, who have the R-M222Y DNA haplogroup. So that's about it. 5 is the key to all of this. 555 is the key number of all key numbers, as far as certain values of creation. And the 5 code is the male female code, and that really represents at the highest esoteric level the combining of the male and female brain sides of the brain. But we've been through that a number of times. In electronics, 555 timer is a classic 555 timer IC, a classic integrated circuit chip that has numerous timers and multi-vibrator applications and is widely used in electronics. So that's what we're talking about. The light, electricity. What do they call that? The light bill. Electricity bill is the light bill. What is the light? That's the knowledge. So, yep. Anyway, we're not going to go on too much longer. We said what we said. I'm really disappointed in the public, but hey, what do we expect? This is one of the things. This is one of the things. What's the light bearer? So everything about the Bible is based in astrotheology. It's just like, astrology, astronomy. It's light during the day. Things are more safe. We can see things. The light is there. Light is knowledge. And then the darkness, like dark magic, black magic, that's at night. So then we kind of like, what can we glean from the night? The movement of the stars, and the moon lighting the way. So whatever, it all comes from that. So when we talk about light bearer, horizon, sun, Horus, Jesus Christ, all that stuff, Jesus Christ takes on the attributes of the Egyptian pharaohs, who take on the attributes of the Egyptian gods and goddesses. So, because he is the Egyptian king, he is the Hyksos, pharaonic king from the Ptolemaic line. That's why the first copies of the Bible were copied from Greek. So there you go. Because the Ptolemy line of pharaohs were Greek. And not Greek like today Greek. Greek like Trojan. Greek like, those whose line was backwards and forward to Western Europe, including the Iberian Peninsula and the Irish Isles, including Britain. So we're just telling you the way things are. I mean, and there's lots of folks that are out there that are talking about this, that have done this in a well documented manner, and that folks that they're documenting it today because the story never left. This is not anything new. It wasn't created during the 60s. It wasn't anything else. We've always known that. The story of Jesus and Glastonbury, it's been around since 0 AD. So, um, no, it's not. It's not nonsense. It's the basis of all religion. It's not nonsense. We tell you what it is. It's a story of my bloodline and many others who have the same bloodline, the pharaonic line, the line of Jesus Christ, the line of King David. It's what's going on. Just by you saying something is not something, and we've already established anyone who has the word goy in their name, they're definitely doing the enemy's work. Kabbalism is not the basis of the New Age. Because everything in the New Age is based on what's written down. And Kabbalism, I mean, it can be written down, but in general terms, Kabbalism, or the Kabbalah, the Ka and the Ba, Kabbalah, is the unwritten beliefs of all peoples of the world. Because all the peoples of the world, we all have very similar mythos. We come across things the same way, just like they invented, writing in similar ways in different areas, in Assyria and also in Egypt at the same time, except for that was all under the same kingdom, using the same methods or similar methods. All like again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what any of these jokers say on the internet. That's the fact. It is the fact that all religion is based in astrotheology. All of it. All of it. Not one exception. Not one exception. Now, it has evolved to include other things, but it has never disposed of the astrotheological elements at its core. I'm just telling you that because it's a fact. Now, we got everybody saying this thing and that thing and the other thing. But I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter what you know. It just matters what blood is beating through one's heart. That's the only thing that matters. That's whether it's good blood or bad blood. That's the only thing that matters. All right. So we're not talking about Mary Magdalene line of Jesus Christ coming from southern France. We're talking about the line that someone who is an uncle, they will have the same bloodline. They won't have the same Y-DNA necessarily, although they might have similar Y-DNA to their uncle. But if one is a family member a bloodline family member, they will have the same bloodline. That's what I'm saying. Not talking about the controversy on whether Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ had a daughter, as the myth says. We're talking also about individuals who started colonizing the Iberian Peninsula, or recolonizing the Iberian Peninsula, and Ireland and England. That was part of the biblical Exodus. That's where we get the name Scotia, Scotialand, Scotaland, Scotland, which was an old name for Ireland, and the current name for Scotland, named after Scotia, the Egyptian princess. That's why the Ptolemaic line, when they did the DNA test on King Tut, that's why he came back with the R1BY DNA haplogroup, which is about 90% of Irish men, about 90% of Scottish men, and about 80% of British men, or English men, I should say. Not British, because that would be more, because Scotland is British. So it's just as simple as that. You know, the same folks will accept the yeah, hey, thanks, C. Michael. Yeah, Holy Sea Line. Simple stuff. Exactly. It's, it is. Northern Spain, of course. Yeah, the Basque region, Iberian Peninsula. Yeah, like I said, the Exodus, through research and DNA seems to have gone from Egypt back to these folks' home base, in the Mediterranean, the Greek islands, and then up through the Straits of Hercules to the Iberian Peninsula, especially northern Spain. And then from northern Spain, what's the next step? Ireland. But really, they're returning back to Ireland, and there was always a constant movement of these individuals. That's one thing that is biblically sound, is that the Roman Empire and the Egyptian Empire and the confluence of these two quote unquote empires, they were here and there and everywhere, and their ethnic identities and makeup were very similar. So again, what's this? Why does the world such? If so many have divine DNA, might as well be 7 billion little. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's about 2 million individuals who have this divine DNA, this very specific divine DNA. But those are mutations. Like, when you talk about DNA, that's why we say R1B. Downstream from that is R-M269. Downstream from that is R-L21. Downstream from that is R-M222. There's mutations. So in any event, again, we're gonna keep going with this, but that's it. You've reached the point where you're like, no, I mean, government authority, you got to be kidding me. Interacting with human beings, I do miss interacting with human beings, but I don't know whether everybody's like lost their mind, or we see what happens when a few too many folks get together on the internet. That happens in real life too. So I tend to avoid it. I used to go to Washington Redskins games, every game, for several years, I would go to every single game. And by the end, at the beginning, the crowd was one of the good things about the event. And then by the end, that was the worst thing. That was the reason I didn't want to go, because it's fun to tailgate. It's fun to talk about sports, or that's what I used to think it was fun to do. I don't really do that much anymore. It's fun to hang out with your buddies. That's fun. Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like that? But then after a while, it just becomes horrible. So that's just like everything else. It's like they're making everything horrible. So, uh, you know, it's okay. So it is horrible to be around large crowds of other human beings because they've lost their mind, and or all the powers that be put in you know dangerous criminals into regular situations to cause problems. Okay, American Jedi, we're talking about mutations, and we're talking about specific Y DNA haplogroups. So 700 wives and 300 concubines. That's more again of those numerology, gematria things. And again, Solomon is, Sol, and on, like turning something on. The sun, soul, the sun, the sun, on, the sun. Okay. Yeah. The legend of Joseph of Arimathea. Right. The legend of Joseph of Arimathea. Yeah. Middle Ages. Right. The Arthurian legend. Right. Oh, no kidding. Who is Lily? Oh, right. That's the Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, right. Whatever. Not the Hebrew Israelite. The fake Hebrew Israelite. Um. They're bewitched. Comes from blah blah blah. From birth. The legend of Tia Tephi came to Ireland with the prophet Jeremiah. Exactly. I mean the bloodlines match up. Yeah, you're right. Most people are nuts. Absolutely. Yeah, it's biblical. Hey, much appreciated. I do appreciate support. I really do, and hopefully we will get support, because again, this is not just this is not for me. It's for everyone who agrees with me, and it's a small group, and I can tell you. We're talking about the legend of the five and the seven, the five representing the five wandering stars, and the seven out of the five representing the sun and the moon, combined with the wandering stars with the magical powers. So that's where you get a lot of these secret society things, like of course, there's the triune nature of God, and then there's the septenary nature of the universe, and then there's the five that represents all life. One could associate that with the life force. We've already told you, the the Egyptian words for the life force. Well, Ka is the life force, and Ba is the other element of the dualistic soul, living soul, living and post-mortem soul, the resurrection. That's one thing that is necessary for Freemasonry. There's this not, one of the things is Holy Mother Church, and another thing is you have to believe in the resurrection, the life after death. Whatever you are, identify yourself, and you're beneath me. Your words are inconsequential. Um, but you skipped my other question. You don't question me. You don't have standing to question me. Are you kidding? You joker. You joker. And like, I mean, no one else is. No one else is a closer follower. It can't be. You know, it can't be. Yeah, whatever. I mean, how am I fooling how am I fooling anyone? Who's who's fooling who? Uh you are beneath me. Yeah, you understand me. Yeah. You have less standing than I do. Yes, you're beneath me. Yes, absolutely. Lily, whoever you are, yes, you are beneath me. Okay. Okay. C. Michael has identified Lily as someone who has posted content that is forwarding the idea that the uh, sub-Saharan Africans are the people of the Bible. That's absurd. It's absurd. And, I go to the experts on that. Ralph Ellis. I go to the experts on that. DNA testing. So there you go. Done. Finished. Um, you are the chosen. Chosen for what? Chosen to be a descendant of the kings of Europe and the biblical line and the Israelites in the Bible. I mean, I didn't choose it, or maybe I did choose it. I mean, the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Egyptian Book of the Dead says, you choose your next life in various different ways. So maybe I'm chosen. Maybe I chose to be chosen, but I prefer the people of God. The people of God. Um, it's written in the Bible. The people of God are the Israelites, and we have verified that the Israelites are the Europeans. So there you go. Well, God ultimately chooses everything because, God creates everything. God creates human beings with free will, but obviously that's the will of God because everything is God's creation. So, in a certain way, yeah, God chooses everything, but in a certain other way, God gives humans free will. So, yeah, we have free will and God chooses everything. And God is the creator of everything. And God is omniscient. And I am not omniscient. So, that's all I can say, but I will say that I'm smart enough not to go along with fraud against me. I'm smart enough to recognize my enemies, and I'm smart enough to do something about it. And I'm smart enough to recognize my God given authority and recognize who I am. Um, do you take Ralph Ellis? That's misspelled Ralph. Word about who Christ is over Matthew? No, because Ralph Ellis he quotes Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I take Ralph Ellis' word for identifying ancient frescoes with the image of Jesus Christ as a white man. I recognize Ralph Ellis and his ability to connect the dots between the Arthurian mythos and the biblical story. And yeah, I mean, I do believe that that Jesus was of the pharaonic line of the Ptolemaic line, the King of Kings. That's what they would have called the King of Kings at that point. The Pharaoh. They would have called him the King of Kings. So, you know, I mean, it's not British Israelism. It's Israelism. It's the people of God. It's not Christian identity. It's Christianity. That's how I'll explain it. I've been explaining it the whole time. Certain Y-DNAs matching up with the haplogroup of the pharaonic line, the pharaonic Ptolemaic line, who had auburn and ginger hair and blue eyes, appeared in southern England on the coast in Devon at the time of 0 AD. This is associated very closely with the Grail bloodline. That's it. Who's not the Son of God? I mean, Jesus is the Son of God. He is the King of Kings. And God's Son is Horus, too. Horus and Jesus. So that's why symbolically Jesus and the symbolism of the Son are intermerged. The combining of the spiritual with the physical. Jesus was a real man, and he was also the Son of God. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is 101 stuff. Because if you don't know this basic stuff, one will never be able to comprehend what it says in the Bible. And you're not gonna know anything. Yeah, the triune nature of God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yes. We just know the Holy Trinity, Chris. This is what defines Christianity. Did I not just talk about the triune nature of God and the septenary nature of the universe? The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Trinity. So why are you telling me no, dude? You're funny with that. You don't know what you're talking about, dude, but you're correcting something that you just heard the answer to. I'm talking to Sean Derby. You know, and this is another trick of these guys. And if you're falling into it innocently, Sean Derby, then cool. But just don't do it. And if it's not innocent, then it's recognized. Either way, you're wrong. Either way, you're incorrect. So we say, yeah, the triune nature of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay, so we've established that. We established that Jesus was a living man. So the divine Son of God was also a living man. Right? We got that. Okay. So what else is there? The triune nature of God. Jesus is the Son of God. Jesus is God. Okay. Son of God. God. Okay. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Triune nature of God. Okay. Okay, what are these white cars following me across the country with? I don't know what to say to that. Tell this to you tell this to Ellis. How would I disagree? Okay, so this is the latest from Sean Derby. Tell this to Ellis. Tell what to Ellis? He would disagree. Yes? I don't know if he would disagree. I do promote him. I promote his information. I find it very, very enlightening. It is out of the box thinking and in subject matter that can only be comprehended with out of the box thinking. Yeah. Jesus Christ equals Emmanuel equals meaning God with us is what C. Michael says. So in any event, if I don't know something, then like I don't know it. But if we've already covered something, then hey, I'm just making assertions. And if I've referenced the triune nature of God, and then somebody corrects me a couple minutes later and says, "No, Chris, the Holy Trinity." Okay, the Trinity nature of God, it's not proper English. Triune nature of God is the proper English. So it's the same thing. So what's the difference? At a certain point, it's like, do I care? If I'm eating somebody's cooking and they make really good spaghetti and like they are all right, and they are friendly and nice, am I going to start asking them questions about stuff that I don't really know what the question is? Why would I do that? I like the guy's, spaghetti dinner, and I'm looking for that kind of thing. I'm looking for spaghetti or whatever. A green salad, and somebody makes the best green salad. That's what I want. So I'm not gonna like pick a fight with somebody because somebody else says that I should tell them something. I don't tell that guy anything. I follow him on Facebook. That's it. I think he's got interesting information. There are very few individuals I think have interesting information. I don't know what to say with these guys, but it's getting silly. Whatever. Bill Wright, my brother, has told you all about founding a church promoting this demon. Listen, dude. You I'll tell you what, Sean Derby. I do as I wish. You are beneath me. You are beneath questioning what I'm doing. And out of my largesse, I educate you when your insipid ideas cross my path. So that's that. I do as I wish. I have free will. And I'm saying you, Sean Derby, are a degenerate. And I'm not having it. So, your tactics are whatever. I mean, keep it to yourself because you don't know much, dude. You don't know much. Yeah, maybe Triune wasn't in his. No, I really think that he's just trying to like, I mean, that was the thing. You know, I mean, I like Ralph Ellis, I like Michael Tazarian, I like certain a very small amount of occult researchers. I mean, I've been reading and listening to Julius Evola. I I study the works of Manly Hall. So uh, Eustace Mullen, Eustace Mullins. Um, who else? I'm just trying to think of some other folks that I respect their work. Um, Maybe even that Deborah Tavares lady. I think she's pretty good. She's never wrong. I can't say anything bad about her. Uh, she goes out and tells the public things. Maybe she's financed, maybe she's controlled, but she publicly tells the truth at government meetings. So I'm just trying to think of some other folks that not that I'm making excuses or anything. I'm just telling you who I like: Jordan Maxwell, Franco Collins, and I'm not saying I agree with everything all these guys say either. I mean, that's another stupid thing. Just, I mean, yeah, I like that guy, Robert Seffer. Yeah, I like his work, and it's not ideological with these guys. These guys are just saying what is. So the idea that you're connected, I mean, if you got something bad to say about what Ralph Ellis says, better tell it to me like directly, because either it went over my head or I didn't notice it. Or I've already had a discussion with your brother about it on Facebook. And dozens of other discussions with ill-informed individuals that very same day on dozens of different topics. So, yeah, I like Thomas Sheridan. Yeah. I mean, unless I say that I think that they're like bad eggs or something, I mean, folks give me the wrong rap for saying, they go like, oh, you don't like anybody. You think everybody's a Fed. You think this and you think that. And it's like, no, if they fit the bill for being a Fed or being a snitch or being controlled opposition, none of these guys fit that bill. So I like them. I like their information. It's enlightening to me. It's better than watching mindless, dramatic nonsense. That's good, Sean. I don't know what to say. I love your work, Chris, and brought but you got to tell me, how is he a demon? You tell. I don't. He probably does not want to get into this kind of controversy, but tell me how Ralph Ellis is a demon. I just don't get it. Gary Galino. I don't know who Gary Galino is. Maybe I'll look him up. Galino. Anyway, I will check into that. It's not a thing. And like, maybe you bought several copies of my book and maybe you didn't. I don't know. I'm not promoting heretics. It's not what I'm. If I'm promoting anything, it is the real story of Jesus Christ. And if Ralph Ellis has got part of it wrong, he's got a lot of it right. Oh, okay, cool, right on. Thanks, C. Michael. So, in any event, it's getting past midnight here on the East Coast. Um, I hope this was enlightening for some, and you know, it's really frustrating to attempt to get the information out there to everyone, and then have everyone get form a circular firing squad with you in the middle, or with, speaking for myself, with me in the middle. And so again, it's not up to me to come up with all the plans. It's not up to me to have every single step of every single strategy. I'm just pointing out to you who has the authority and how to exert authority. Because without control of the military hardware, the weapons of war, and without the issuance of money, there's no hope to end universal slavery, and it's just all going to get worse. And we've got our bases covered there as well. We created the only and the highest authority of all Christian religions. So nobody on earth can ever tell me what is Christian and what is not, because we're the only Christian church. We have authority over the Catholic Church, the LDS Church, all Protestant churches, all of them. We have authority over all Freemasonry, every government, over every secret society. We have that power over all of them. And unless it's coming out of the mouth of the people of God, and that's really only one person is the spokesperson, then y'all can all take a hike, because I'm not getting into any boat with anyone else. Y'all can get into a boat with me, but I'm not getting into a boat with anyone else. I see what goes on in the world, and I speak for myself, and I reserve all my rights at all times, including my divine right to rule. If no one else is going to take it, I'm the one that's going to take it. So I urge you to do the same. This is Chris Dorsey signing off. Peace and God bless.